Ever pondered over the thought of mountains turning into water? Imagine that for a moment. A world where our majestic peaks and ranges, the Earth's crowning glory, suddenly transform into cascading water. It's an unusual concept, isn't it? Yet it stirs our innate human curiosity about the natural world and its phenomena. It prompts us to question, to explore, and to understand the boundaries of our reality. So with your mind brimming with questions and perhaps a touch of apprehension, let's dive into this fascinating and somewhat terrifying hypothetical scenario. The very first impact would be immediate and catastrophic. Imagine this: the world's mountains, those majestic peaks that touch the sky, suddenly turn into water. It would be a spectacle, almost surreal, yet terrifyingly real. It would be like watching the world's landscape being rewritten in a matter of seconds. With the sudden addition of such a massive volume of water, the sea levels would rise dramatically. Picture the oceans swelling, surging, and spilling over their boundaries. The coastlines, those natural barriers between land and sea, would be unable to hold back this monstrous tide. Widespread flooding would become an instant reality, submerging cities and towns that once sat comfortably away from the water's edge. And what of the towns and cities nestled in the very heart of the mountains? Those picturesque habitats, carved into the sides of mountainous terrains, would be obliterated in the blink of an eye. The very ground beneath them turning into a torrent of water, sweeping away everything in its path. Every building, every road, every tree, and sadly, every life would be swept up in this catastrophic event. This sudden transformation would not discriminate between the highest peaks or the gentlest slopes. From the towering heights of the Himalayas to the rolling hills of the Scottish Highlands, every speck of mountainous terrain would succumb to this watery fate. But the devastation wouldn't stop at the water's edge. The sheer force of this event would send shockwaves through every corner of the globe. Earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, all could be triggered by this unimaginable shift in the world's topography. The world as we know it would be irrevocably altered. The familiar landscapes, the places we hold dear, those iconic vistas that take our breath away, all would be washed away in an instant. And in their place, a new world would emerge, one sculpted by water and marked by the absence of those towering peaks that once reached for the skies. The immediate aftermath would be nothing short of apocalyptic. The world would be left reeling, struggling to comprehend the scale of the disaster and the enormity of the loss. This hypothetical scenario paints a grim picture, but it also serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of our planet and the profound impact we have on it. The ecological balance of our planet would be thrown into chaos. Let's delve into the ecological impact of our mountains turning into water. Mountains are more than just towering landforms. They are diverse ecosystems teeming with life. They are home to a myriad of plant and animal species, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth. If these mountains were to suddenly disappear, the loss of these unique habitats would lead to an ecological crisis. The extinction of species would be imminent, and biodiversity, a crucial aspect of our planet's health, would be severely affected. Beyond the loss of life, the transformation of mountains into water would cause drastic changes in our planet's climate. Mountains influence climate by acting as barriers to weather systems and wind patterns. They help regulate the Earth's temperature by reflecting back sunlight into space. With mountains gone, the alteration in the topography would disrupt these patterns, leading to unpredictable and potentially drastic weather changes. Moreover, mountains play a vital role in the water cycle. They capture moisture from the atmosphere, which then falls as rain or snow. This precipitation is stored in glaciers and snowfields, gradually released into rivers and groundwater, providing a steady supply of water for both ecosystems and human communities downstream. If mountains were to turn into water, this intricate system would collapse. The sudden influx of water could lead to flooding, while the loss of this natural water storage system could result in water scarcity in the long run. And let's not forget, mountains act as carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and helping to mitigate climate change. Their disappearance would mean losing one of our key defenses against global warming. In essence, mountains are the ecological linchpins of our planet. Their sudden transformation into water would trigger a cascade of ecological consequences, altering life on Earth as we know it. The loss of our mountains would spell disaster for countless species and ecosystems. Humans, too, would face unprecedented challenges. Imagine living in a mountainous region, your home nestled amongst towering peaks when suddenly your world is underwater. The displacement of people would be immense. Millions across the globe, from the Andes to the Himalayas, would lose their homes. In the wake of such a catastrophe, we'd see a massive surge in refugees, all seeking dry land, shelter, and the resources to rebuild their lives. But the impact wouldn't stop at the mountain's base. Think about the fertile valleys that lie in the shadows of these peaks. Mountains play a crucial role in our agriculture. They capture moisture, creating a perfect environment for crops to grow. If mountains turned into water, we would lose these agricultural hotspots. Our food supply, already stretched thin by a booming population, would be further strained. Global hunger could reach levels we've never seen before. And then there's the weather. Mountains have a profound impact on our climate. They act as barriers, diverting wind and precipitation and creating diverse weather patterns. Without mountains, these patterns would be disrupted, leading to drastic changes in local climates. Areas that once enjoyed moderate temperatures might become unbearably hot or freezing cold. Regions that relied on mountain-fed rivers for water might find themselves parched. Imagine the cascading effects on human health and livelihoods. Heat waves and cold snaps could lead to more deaths. Droughts could lead to water shortages, causing hygiene issues and disease outbreaks. Changes in local climates could mean the loss of certain plant and animal species, disrupting ecosystems and impacting food sources and livelihoods. In short, the loss of mountains would not just be a loss of stunning landscapes. It would be a loss of homes, of food sources, of stable climates. It would force us to confront a whole new set of challenges in our struggle for survival. The world as we know it would be drastically and irreversibly changed. The long-term effects on our planet would be profound and lasting. Imagine a world without mountains, where the once towering peaks have transformed into vast bodies of water. This shift in mass distribution would likely affect the very rotation of our planet. The Earth spins on its axis, a delicate balance maintained by the distribution of its mass. With mountains turned into water, the balance shifts, potentially causing our planet to wobble on its axis. This could alter the length of our days and seasons, with impacts far beyond what we can readily comprehend. Now let's delve into the planet's magnetic field. This shield protects us from the sun's harmful radiation. It's generated deep within the Earth in its molten iron core. The movement of this iron, driven by heat escaping from the core, and the rotation of the Earth creates a dynamo effect, resulting in our magnetic field. If the Earth's rotation changes, the dynamics of this core movement could also change, possibly affecting the strength and stability of our magnetic field. This could expose our planet to higher levels of solar radiation, with potential impacts on all forms of life. Lastly, consider the impact on plate tectonics. Mountains are formed by the movement and collision of Earth's tectonic plates. If mountains were to transform into water, the forces exerted on these plates could change dramatically. This could result in increased seismic and volcanic activity, reshaping the Earth's landscape in unpredictable ways. So imagine a world without mountains, where our days may be longer or shorter, where our magnetic field could waver, exposing us to more solar radiation, and where the ground beneath our feet could be more volatile. It's a world that's hard to envision, and yet it underscores the intricate balance of our planet's systems and the vital role that mountains play in maintaining this balance. Our blue planet would be a very different place without its towering peaks. So, the transformation of mountains into water would lead to a cascade of catastrophic events. Imagine it. The very bedrock of our planet, the towering peaks and craggy cliffs we've come to know and love, suddenly liquefying into vast undulating seas. The immediate aftermath would be nothing short of disastrous. Tsunamis of unprecedented size would sweep across continents, obliterating everything in their path. But the devastation wouldn't stop there. The ecological impact would be profound and far-reaching. With mountains gone, many species would lose their habitats, leading to mass extinctions. The water cycle would be severely disrupted, affecting weather patterns and potentially plunging the world into a new ice age. And let's not forget the human element. The loss of mountain ranges would displace billions of people worldwide, leading to a humanitarian crisis unlike any we've ever seen. Economies would collapse, societies would crumble, and our very way of life would be forever altered. In the long term, the effects on our planet would be catastrophic. Without mountains to anchor them, continents would drift apart, reshaping the world as we know it. The additional water could also trigger a global rise in sea level, submerging low-lying areas and altering coastlines forever. While this scenario is purely hypothetical, it underscores the importance of our mountains and the intricate balance of our planet's ecosystems. So next time you gaze upon a mountain range, take a moment to appreciate its silent, steadfast presence. Our world wouldn't be the same without them.